transitioning, going to our fourth round pick, our first fourth round pick, might I add. Dan Moore Jr., the left tackle out of Texas A&M. I really enjoyed this pick solely for the fact of it's a legitimate left tackle. And it's going to be a legitimate competition now at left tackle. It's not we're moving Chooks from right tackle to left tackle and he's just given this starting spot at his position that we've never seen him play at the NFL level. No. Now we're going to bring in a guy of higher pedigree. It turns to being the first fourth round pick, right? I think it was 128 if I remember correctly. Yep, 128. So you're going to have a legitimate guy coming in here who has played left tackle for his past 2 collegiate seasons. He is a left tackle. He's a really good left tackle as well. He's another guy that some people had rated a little bit higher than a fourth rounder.
Starter,
yeah.
SEC.
So when you think about that, I just like the fact that he's going to be able to come in here and at least compete at left tackle. If he beats Chooks out, great. If Chooks beats him out, great. But now I don't have to deal with the uncertainty of, well,
at least dress it.
Right, Chooks just got it because we never drafted anyone. We never addressed it. No, now we at least have a guy here. And I'm fine with Banner moving to right tackle. When those 2 guys competed a year ago, Banner won the job. He just got hurt the first half of the game versus the Giants. But he won that. So for me, I feel confident that, okay, Banner can still be the right tackle and be fine there. But now, let me at least let the best man win over here at this left tackle spot. So that was my thoughts on it initially, man.
100%. Some people were a little pissed about it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's just because we didn't address offensive tackle earlier, or maybe this is one of those picks, like you said, some people did have him rated higher, some people had him rated a lot lower as well. This was just one of those things. If you like the guy, you take him.
Yep.
But you're right. Offensive tackle, we needed to address this. We didn't in the first 3 rounds, which I was good with, especially based off the players that we got. It's
and the way the board was falling, man, it was good.
I'm completely good with it. But it seems like this dude has a lot of upside. And actually, this is something I was thinking earlier today. It seemed like the Steelers drafted, in terms of these 2 offensive lineman picks, for that mentality, for that aggressiveness, because it seems like his strength is in run blocking as well. That's from all accounts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are left tackle, if typically you're supposed to specialize in pass blocking because they say it's the quarterback's blind side.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me he can have this run blocking element to him that not a lot of other left tackles will have, and was one of the knocks like with Big Al for us with the Steelers, and then Adrian Clem can coach
because
him up
Big Al, he was definitely last year. Al was good in terms of pass blocking. Granted, the Cincinnati game, that's the one where it was the bad matchup. We talked about that in the Browns, but 2 bad matchup games, right? But as a whole, Al played well in pass protection. Al struggled in terms of run blocking. That's what Al couldn't do. Whereas with this guy, that's something that he does well. That's something that Chooks does well. So I like that. Now we're going to see who can pass block the best out of the 2.
No, definitely. And that's the thing. If our offensive line coach, if Tomlin, whoever it is, thinks that could be coached up more than all these other things, the run blocking, the aggressiveness, the mauling, the moving people, then I like this as an upside play. Who knows what he can become? Everyone is saying that I've read that he does have a lot of upside. Whether or not you like the pick, that he is going to have impact for the Steelers this season or not, maybe that's another story. But I like the pick in the 4th. Like, who are you going to get better? I was looking around at the board. It's like, who else are you going to get that you're just like pounding your fist over?
Because I think I like that statement you made right there, because I always think that, okay, if you have an issue with the pick, who would you have made that? Who would you have taken instead? Right, we talked about
in the 4th round.
Right at 128. Who was available at pick 128?
We make making some crazy impact coming in.
We make the same case about Najee at 24. Unless you felt that ETN or Javonte were better players, who did you want better? Right? Would you rather taken at 24 that was available to us? Because when you look at the way the board was falling, I'm just kind of like, I don't have an issue with this. Is a position of need. This is a position where we lacked depth as well. And this is a guy that played in the SEC where it's big time ball. Granted, yes, he could improve his footwork. He could improve from a pass blocking standpoint, but he does run block well. And we've seen what the alternative looks like when you have a guy that can pass block but struggles to run block. We weren't happy with that. So now you could potentially have the alternative immediately in terms of a guy who can run block really well, but isn't the best pass blocker necessarily in day one. But I think this is a guy that you can build. This is a guy that can develop. Hopefully, I mean, I think of Gerald Hawkins when we took him. Similar scenario, 4th round pick, had upside, athletic enough, but you still were just kind of like, he's not a day one starter. He's a project. He could be the guy in 2 years from now, but he might not be. With Hawkins, it was flashes, but then he had the injuries, and that's kind of how he is, and that's where he is right now as an extra lineman. But as a 4th round pick, like, I'm not losing sleep over that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's my point. I just don't know who you're getting better at this point.
Yeah.
Someone who, like you said, may be competing for the starter spot.
Yeah.
Depending on him and Chooks, because I think that's what Adrian Clem said in an interview, or maybe it was an article that I read, that Dan Moore was going to be competing. I don't know what competing means.
No, that's exactly what I just said.
Statement, but
no. It's not a blanket. No. When they say he's competing, they're saying he's competing for a starting spot.
Okay.
You don't say a guy's competing if he's a depth guy. You say that's a depth guy. I say, man, he's a bottom of the roster guy. He's a 46 to 53 guy. That means he's barely going to be dressing on game day. You know what I mean? That's how you classify himself. I say, but this guy's going to be competing for a spot. He's competing for that starting spot. Like, he's going to be competing with Chooks. That's what this pick is right here. And I like that. So, like I said, I'm not against it. Now,
I'm good with the pick. Yeah.
Now, we could have made the case of other positions. Would you have rather them draft a corner in the 4th round? Would you rather they drafted? I mean, they took a linebacker in the 4th, so for me, I'm not tripping because I know we got Buddy, not like my buddy, but like his buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna butcher his first name.
We lost Bud, but we got Buddy.
We got a buddy. Bud's got us a new buddy. Thank you, Bud, for dropping off this buddy with us. You know what I mean? We're gonna have fun with that. But since I know we have that in the 4th round as well, I'm fine with it. Like, it wasn't one of those things where it's like, okay, we need to get a tight end. No, we already had our tight end.
You had to pick and choose what you weren't going to prioritize. And in this case, we took offensive tackle in the 4th round. And, we waited on cornerback all the way to the end of the draft. Yeah. And we picked someone up as an undrafted free agent. But that's it. I'd rather it be how the draft board played out for the Steelers than the opposite, because I think we got studs in the first 3 rounds.
Absolutely. And I asked the people in the chat what they were thinking of it in terms of the Moore pick. And let's see. First, Christian McNeil says, I'm not excited about Chooks at all. So definitely he likes the pick in terms of it being Moore. Foreign J says he has no footwork. That is something that I do think he's going to have to improve. But hopefully with Adrian, that's going to help him. Not necessarily from a run game standpoint, but the pass game. That's where footwork technique really gets highlighted. In terms of the run game, sometimes you don't have to have the best technique if you just have good size and you're a mauler and you're just aggressive off the ball. Sometimes D linemen just don't want that, or they're trying to pass rush and you just catch them. But when it comes down to you having to consistently pass rush, now your fundamentals are highlighted a lot more. And that's where we're going to have to see him really improve if he wants to be the full 17-game starter at left tackle. Because at left tackle, you're facing dog pass rushers. We know that. You're not going to get, these easier matchups on the right side. Like, you're going to have some legit studs out there. All right. Luke Walker says, good pick. Multi-year SEC starter as competition for the left tackle spot. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see. Ooh, and Steven brings up a good point right here. He says that some people had him as a 7th round grade, though, in terms of his talent. So he hopes that those people are wrong. I'm hoping the same, man. But that's the thing that we talked about with this draft. Like, some of these prospects, even we said with Kendrick Green, he was a guy that some people didn't even have rated as a top 5 player at center or guard. But you saw what we took him, and you saw kind of like our sentiments when we watched him on tape. Let's see. All right. Juicebox said it was a good depth pick. May surprise us. Not too mad, although I still wanted a cornerback in this round. And I could definitely see that because we talked about the cornerback position. But as a whole, I like how they ended it.
They barely got a 3rd round quarterback undrafted.
Talking about the cat out of Michigan State.
Yeah.
The knock with him was tested slow. That was the thing, man. Yeah.
Dude, but I mean,
he's productive as heck, though.
He's the 2nd ranked cornerback by PFF.
He's productive, man. All right.
So I think we made up for it, maybe.
We're gonna find. We'll see. We'll see. I don't really like playing that undrafted game. Like, I used to get hype on some of these guys. I'm like, oh, this dude's a stud here. He's gonna come here and eat, and then the dude don't make the roster. And I'm just like, well, what happened? Or I think about how many undrafted guys we've had here, especially at that linebacker position, that were freaky athletes, fast guys, and we would hear, how the team or how fans would praise these guys. But then you see him, and it's just like it never materializes. So that's my only thing in terms of why I'm not willing to get too hype about it.
My point is, they could have taken that cornerback in this round, and you'd be happy about it.
Right.
We got that same guy undrafted, though. So what I mean is, going back, hindsight 2020, how the draft board played out, I think we did pretty damn good.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, I'm just not willing to go because it's a reason why he fell. It's a reason.
Well, we could be saying this about these guys that we took in round 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, we're even saying this damn more. Like, could he work out and be a starter for us, or he could just flame out? We don't know. But to take the pick, to take the chance, I think we made the most of our opportunities here.
Like I said, we'll see. For me, I get what you're doing. You're spinning it positive at the end, which is fine. I'm just not spinning anything like that when it comes to undrafted guys, just because I've seen too many of them come in and it's like, well, he could have been drafted. He should have been drafted, but he didn't. And then you see it and it's like, oh, this was why. That's my only thing with him, man.
No, sure. I got you.
But I hope he could ball because, like you said, he was a productive player. Some people had him rated really high. You talked about PFF. They liked him a lot. But I'm just kind of like, well, what was going on here? Like, where's the disconnect? Because then I think it's not the school, because we took a guy to that school that played that same position extremely high, and he really hasn't panned out just yet, right? Athletic, but hasn't really panned out. So I'm just kind of like, all right, is this something that they see on tape where it was similar? Like, what is it? I don't know. But that's kind of what that's making me like not get as excited about him just yet, man.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying I'm like that excited, but in terms of saying we should have taken a cornerback here, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. We got maybe a 3rd or 4th round value at corner
as an undrafted guy.
That going back, we got the hindsight 2020. I think we did good. Like, we could have taken him in the 4th round, in the 5th round. You'd be like, oh, this was a good pick. This was good value for the cornerback. We just happened to get him undrafted, so it doesn't look as good.
Right.
But all the players are there for the Steelers.
True. Very true, man. And still people are enjoying this pick, man. In terms of Darwin, he says more is, I'll say hecka, because I'm PG-13. But he says he's hecka athletic, and but he needs to be more consistent, which I do agree, man. Let's see. Ooh. Now, I don't know if he's talking about Moore or somebody else, but he said Roll Too Tight says he reminds me of Damani Dawson. All right. So you might be talking about Kendrick. Maybe it's talking about Kendrick. I might be, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because there's a lot of convo going on in the chats. I love the fact y'all are active in the chats. But it makes it a little bit difficult at times, too. Because I'm over here just like, all right.
Looking back,
I'm seeing people talk about Dwayne Haskins. I'm seeing some Presley Harvin. Like, I can't wait to talk about Presley. I'm excited about him. But either way, like, I'm just like, all right, hold on, man. Where we at? Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it. There's a whole conversation going about Presley and his throwing ability right now. It's insane, bro. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it right now. All right, so we're good on him. But yeah, like I said, man, I definitely like the pick. I think that he's gonna be, like you said, at least competition for Chooks day one, and he could potentially grow into something more than that, man.